Alright, in the previous step we learned how we can use events in C# Unity. In this step I want to talk about a new solution for management better and easier the variables in the C# code. For example, we have two players, player A and player B, and for each player we should have some variables. For example, public string player A name and public game object player A object and public public integer player A health. Okay, so we should duplicate these parameters, these variables for player B as well. Okay, and imagine we should have something like this for player C and also player D, or even player F, right? Or maybe more. But as you can see, it is not a good solution for having almost 15 variables in one script, and even these types of these variables type are similar to each other. So it's not optimized, it is not a good way. So the best way is using a custom structure. Uh, Imagine we have public class player info, okay? And here we have public string player name, public game object player object, and public integer player health. Okay, now we can say uh, with using player info we can define a new parameter as a kind of new variable, a structure in our variables. For example, we can say if if we want to use this technique, we need to assure that we already added system dot serializable. Without that, and without this line, this structure doesn't work. So we will say public, and we have already defined a new kind of variable, public player info as an array, and we will say players, player infos. Now let's save, and let's come back to the Unity editor, and we will see something really strange here. In the main camera, I've added part 19 and 39 as a component of this object. And look at this, we have an array of player infos. And in here, in the past, we had player A, B, C, D, F, or E, or whatever, 20 parameters. It can be anything. I will add 5. And look at this, we have element 0. If we open the element 0, we will see player name, player object, player health of element 0. Element 1, element 2, 3, and 4. And for example, we will say player A. Look at this, the name has been changed to player A, and it is 12. Uh, Player B, 10, player C is 30, player uh, D, it is, I don't know, 52, 54, and player E, it is 100. Easy. We can define a specific object for each players as far as we can see here. It is really good solution to manage our common variables. For example, we will have 100 players or objects or anything. Okay? How we can access to these parameters? For example, I want to have access to the player health of player B. Okay? It is a third parameter of second player. For example, we will have void start, and I want to have access to the player health of player B. In our list of player infos, player B is number 1. It is player A is 0, player B is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is player infos 1. I will say print um, player infos 1, and now dot. With dot, I will have access to these parameters. Look at this, and I will add this guy. Look at this. No, sorry. Space plus player B health. And now play the scene to be able to read it. And look at this. It is 10. Player B health is 10. Now we want to change a parameter of player E. For example, the name of player E and the player health of player E needs to be changed. And we will say the player E ID was number 4. So first, player infos 4 dot name, player name is equal last player, and the same for player health. Player health is equal 27. Finally, let's print these parameters. Player E health is the same name, but different ID. Player infos for player health. Now let's save. As you can see, the player E health is 100 and the name is player E. And now, if I play the scene, we will see something else. That's it. The name has been changed to last player and the health has been changed to 27. And here, player B health 10, player E health is 27. It's a good solution for having several variables, maybe many variables in our script without making a big mess in our inspector and also, uh, in our variable management. Okay, let's go to the next step.